The Las Vegas Raiders look like a completely different football team compared to last season. And when you dig into the changes, it becomes clear which position groups came out as winners and which ones might have taken a step back. The offseason was filled with big decisions, major roster moves, and a lot of bold bets by the front office. Some positions got the upgrades they desperately needed, while others were left with more questions than answers. Let's start by looking at the groups that clearly improved and can be seen as winners going into this next season. Right off the bat, one position group that jumps out is the strong safety unit. It's easy to see why when you factor in the arrival of Jeremy Chinn. Signing him to a 2-year deal was one of those under-the-radar moves that could pay massive dividends. Chinn brings versatility, toughness, and experience in complex defensive schemes. He played under Dan Quinn, who learned from Pete Carroll. And you can see that influence in the way Chinn's being used, whether it's dropping into coverage, stepping up as a hybrid linebacker, or acting like a rover. Chinn gives the Raiders a much-needed physical presence. He's a clear upgrade over what the team had in Marcus Epps and Isaiah Pola-Mao. Pola-Mao still has potential, but he's more of a depth piece at this stage. Add in Lonnie Johnson and Trey Taylor for depth, and the position feels a lot more solid going into the year. It's not a massive leap, but it's an important improvement that lands strong safety as a quiet but real winner from the offseason. Next up is the tight end room, and this one might need a bit more explanation. Some might look at the group and shrug, thinking it's about the same, but when you dig deeper, you start to realize how much more dangerous this unit could be in the upcoming season. Michael Mayer is entering his 3rd year and has all the tools to make a leap. He's stronger, more polished, and with another offseason under his belt, the game should be slowing down for him. Then you add Brock Bowers into the mix. Even if Bowers doesn't put up eye-popping numbers right away, his talent and upside are undeniable. He's going to draw coverage, create mismatches, and force defenses to adjust. While Ian Thomas isn't as dynamic as Harrison Bryant as the 3rd tight end, the depth overall is still respectable. There's also some optimism around Cole Fotheringham, who might push for a spot on the final roster. But the bottom line here is simple. Year 2 of Brock Bowers and Year 3 of Michael Mayer represent a big step forward. When you're getting improved production from your top to tight ends, that's a win in today's NFL. Now let's talk about the wide receivers. At first glance, you might think this group hasn't changed all that much. After all, Davante Adams was the star last year, and he's no longer the focal point. But here's the thing, this group, as constructed now, might be better suited for what the Raiders want to do offensively. Trey Tucker is one of the biggest breakout candidates on the entire roster. He came into camp looking sharper, faster, and more confident. If you're looking for a player to have a Tyler Lockett-type rise, Tucker could be that guy. His chemistry with Geno Smith is already turning heads. The Raiders also spent draft capital on Jack Beck, who brings toughness and potential in the slot. Donnie Dortch Jr. has been getting first-team reps and showing out in practices, and Tommy Mellott, while raw, is flashing enough as a special teams contributor and developmental piece. But the player who really deserves more credit is Jacoby Myers. His fit in this new-look offense might be better than what Davante Adams brought last season. Myers is a possession receiver who can block, run crisp routes, and handle the dirty work. He might not have the name recognition of Adams, but in terms of pure fit and execution, he's arguably more valuable to this current system. So yes, this wide receiver room is better not just because of individual talent, but because of cohesion, chemistry, and scheme fit. Then there's the quarterback position, which is undoubtedly one of the biggest offseason wins. Let's not sugarcoat it. Geno Smith is a huge upgrade. Compared to last year's options like Gardner Minshew or Aidan O'Connell, Geno brings poise, accuracy, leadership, and proven production. He might not be a top 5 quarterback in the league, but he doesn't need to be. He's easily a top 14 QB with top 10 upside depending on who you ask. And that's enough to make this offense functional and potentially dangerous. That said, Aidan O'Connell deserves a shout-out. As far as backup quarterbacks go, he's one of the better ones in the league. He understands the system, doesn't make a ton of mistakes, and can come in and manage a game if needed. That kind of depth matters, and behind him, Cam Miller offers more upside than Desmond Ridder ever did. Miller is a developmental prospect with tools, and when you're looking at your QB3, that's what you want, someone who can execute in practice, grow with the program, and eventually step up if necessary. Overall, going from last year's carousel of mediocrity to having a solid starter, a reliable backup, And a project with potential is a major win, but the biggest winner of all? That has to be the running back room. The transformation here is night and day. Last season, the Raiders had the worst rushing attack in the league, dead last in yards per game. And total rushing yards, they averaged just 3.6 yards per carry, which is simply not good enough. So what did they do? They went out and got the best running back in the draft in Javonte. This kid is a star in the making. Explosive, powerful, and elusive. He's everything you want in a modern NFL back. And it doesn't stop there. The team also signed Raheem Mostert, a savvy veteran with ties to Chip Kelly, who still has the speed to break off chunk plays. Together, Javonte and Mostert form a dynamic duo that can punish defenses in multiple ways. Sincere McCormick has looked solid as the third option, providing reliable depth and a different skill set. When you compare this group to last year's room's Amir White, Amir Abdullah, and the revolving door behind them, it's not even close. The top three backs this year are faster, more versatile, and more productive. That's how you go from having one of the worst backfields in football to potentially one of the best. The upgrade here is so significant that it's hard not to put running back at the very top of the winners list for this offseason. Now, of course, where there are winners, there have to be losers, and some of these position groups definitely didn't come out ahead. Let's start on the offensive line, specifically at offensive guard. This might surprise some people, but hear me out. The biggest addition at the position was Alex Kappa, a player that new GM John Spidak clearly believes in. But when you look at Kappa's performance last year, it wasn't great. In fact, by most metrics, he was one of the lowest graded starting guards in the entire league. That's a concern. Then you have Caleb Rogers, a rookie drafted in the third round who shows promise but isn't ready to contribute just yet. He's raw, he needs time, and that means he's more of a long-term project than a short-term solution. The other big issue is moving Jackson Powers Johnson from guard to center. That takes away your best interior lineman at guard and creates a hole that hasn't been filled properly. Last season, the Raiders had JPJ and Dylan Parham as a solid interior duo. Now, with Parham still at left guard and Kappa likely on the right, that pairing just doesn't inspire the same level of confidence. The depth behind them guys like Jordan Meredith and Vitaly Gurman doesn't exactly ease those concerns. So even if the overall offensive line might be slightly better as a unit, the guard position specifically took a step back, and that's why it lands here as one of the offseason's losers. Another group that finds itself on the wrong side of the offseason shakeup is the cornerback room. This one might be a little more controversial, especially considering the amount of young talent that's been brought in. But the key issue here is the departure of Nate Hobbs. Love him or hate him, Hobbs was the most consistent and proven corner on the roster last season, especially working in the nickel. Right now, the top nickel corner is Darnay Holmes, and while he's had flashes of potential in the past, he's also been inconsistent. That lack of stability in such a critical role is a major concern, particularly in a defense that will rely heavily on sub-packages and nickel looks. There are high hopes for guys like Jacorian Bennett and Darian Porter, and Eric Stokes is a player with upside if he can stay healthy and put it all together. But relying on three players who are either unproven or coming off rough stretches to anchor your cornerback unit is risky. Some fans are higher on Bennett than others, and Porter has certainly shown flashes. But the lack of a true lockdown guy and the inexperience throughout the group pushes this unit into the loser category. If Hobbs were still on the team, the evaluation might be different. His presence alone made the unit better, not just with his play but with his leadership. Now, without him, there's a lot more uncertainty than stability. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders, and don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Las Vegas is buzzing once again, and this time the whispers echo through the corridors of Allegiant Stadium. According to sources close to the situation, there are strong indications that running back Javante Williams may have inked a deal with the Las Vegas Raiders, a move that, if confirmed, could shake up the AFC West. Williams, the bruising back formerly of the Denver Broncos, has long been on the radar of teams seeking a dynamic, physical presence in the backfield. After battling through injuries and flashes of brilliance in Denver, he seemed poised for a fresh start. And what better place for a resurgence than in the heart of the desert, where the Raiders are quietly rebuilding under new leadership. While no official announcement has been made by the team or the player, signs point toward an agreement already in place. Several beat reporters and insiders close to the Raiders camp have hinted at closed-door meetings and a significant addition to the offense, and Williams fits the profile perfectly. His ability to pound the ball between the tackles, combined with surprising agility and receiving skills, could offer the kind of versatility Las Vegas has been missing. Since the departure of Josh Jacobs, the Raiders have remained tight-lipped, fueling speculation that the team wants to unveil the move at just the right moment. Whether it's to gain leverage in upcoming trade talks or to keep divisional rivals guessing, the strategy is classic silver and black dot if the rumors prove true. This could be one of the more intriguing moves of the offseason. Williams, when healthy, is a difference maker, and paired with a developing offensive line and a quarterback still trying to find his rhythm, he could become the focal point of a new Raiders identity until official confirmation surfaces. Though, fans will have to settle for speculation, and in Vegas, that's often where the real games begin. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.